Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. We're on the Tundra map and we've got Salty Oysters from RPD Clan. He's in Object 277 and it's an all tier 10 battle. We haven't had him on the channel for a little while, so hopefully this will be a good game to watch. 277 is a tier 10 Soviet heavy tank. Competes with the IS-7 at the top of the line. IS-7 is one of the original heavy tanks in the line, of course, but it's got some better things than the IS-7, but also some worse things. So it's sort of a balancing system there, but yeah, definitely worth researching the 277. Alright, so he's come to the heavy line here, and in fact there's a chieftain there. Now this video is coming out on the day that the new chieftain is going to be available, but when we say available, it's probably not more available than the chieftain T95, which was only available through Clan Wars as a reward tank, and not every year as well, so the scarcity of that tank made it fairly popular in terms of trying to achieve. Not sure how that'll turn out with the new Chieftain Mark 6, but I'll let you make your own mind up there. There's some reviews out now from the EU and CCs, so yeah, have a look at that. But this Chieftain T95 is what most players in the game will have if they've been playing Clan Wars for a few years. Alright, so far he's managed to penetrate with 2 shots, and you can see the nice alpha damage that the 277 has, I should say. And they're holding up a fair stack of heavy tanks here. That Mouse, however, is not angling all that well. He's managed to lose a bit of health, but he's got plenty of hit points, and that's one of the advantages of the Mouse, of course. But just as soon as he turns his gun to try and fire, he's going to be vulnerable. There we go. Alright, so just under 2k of damage now, and here comes the Mouse again. Gets another nice damaging roll there. This T95 is now, Chieftain T95 I should say, is in a pretty advantageous position. But luckily Salty Oysters has still got all these hit points and hasn't got much to fire at with the Chieftain, so he chooses to go after the Mouse again. And 2 more shots on the Mouse and he's going back to the garage. So he's got to be careful not to show too much of the roof of the 277 note with points on Soviet heavy tanks. So this Chief T95, there you go, bounces around on him. So T95 very powerful as a hull down vehicle. It's got very strong frontal armour. Salty has got now the Jagdpanzer E100 at the back to try and get some damage out of, and he's got no problem going through the front there, and he's just got to stay out of the line of the gun. There's a lot of hit points quickly, and he finally loses some hit points to the Chieftain. So now he wants to see if he can focus the Mouse. The Chieftain is on fairly low hit points, so possibly he could go after him with some HE. But at this point, you're going to get 60 odd shots, 60 odd hit points per shot for approximate damage there. That Mouse is just playing a bit better now, but he's still going to lose some hit points soon. So IS-7 is waiting for him, and it looks like the IS-7 firing HE. That's not necessarily the best use of it, but Salty is showing that he can still penetrate the Mouse with a standard round. Now, all those fouls fire a heat. Now, oh, he takes another hit from the Chieftain. You could get the Chieftain with 1 shot if he can take some damage, but there's too many tanks at the back there to put some damage on if he comes to around the corner, so he's got to be careful here. Now just sitting on just under 5k of damage now, so he's really doing what he can for his team, and he's got Type 71 there to also take some hit points away from. And suddenly an FV215B183 appears, so he's got some big alpha TDs there. he's not trading well at the moment. He's starting to lose hit points versus what he's getting. He's obviously made a good total, but he's got a lot of heavy tanks in front of him, and he's pretty much holding this by himself here. He doesn't have a W780 with him, but he's not doing a great deal of help here. So he'll probably get rid of the Type 71, which he does. The 780 I don't think is going to last that long, and no he doesn't, so now it's just the 183 here, which he wants to stay out of the way of. And the 183 does land a shot on him, and the Chieftain does as well, and they're just not giving him much of an opportunity to fire back. He can only really fire at the 183. This Chieftain's going to come in the corner and just punish him, which he will do after the next round, I'll imagine. 7k of damage though now to Salty, and unfortunately he doesn't penetrate the 183 again, so he's pretty vulnerable now. And the Chieftain now firing HE, he knows he's going to be able to kill him in the next shot. So Salty gets one more shot into the 183, and I just think he's just not going to last that long. Chieftain takes out another tank, being the Guerrilla 15 at the back, and he's just not getting the support on this flank at all. These teams all focused on the other side of the map, but they're not even dominating there, so just this flank that he's holding by himself, 7.5k of damage is taken out. He could really get the Chieftain in one shot, but no, Chieftain gets his HE round in, that's killed Salty, so that's unfortunate. 7.5k of damage, it's the end of his game. We'll jump to the end just to show the end panels, but unfortunately very good defense here, but not enough to hold back the push from that side. Well, as you might have expected, it was a defeat, but he's earned actually just under 8k of damage from that position. Only the one kill, unfortunately, but he's also blocked more than his hit points there, 3.2k of damage. That's earned him the high caliber award. That's only turned out to be a second class award, but let's just compare that to the team here. So definitely the strongest tank there in terms of defense. 684 base experience in a loss is pretty good. Super Conqueror, who was playing the other side, 4.4k, could have really backed up Salty Oysters if he'd come to this side. The i7 only doing 2k, Dude is doing over 3, so they were the main contributors there. And on the enemy side, that Chieftain did 4.8k and really was the driving force there behind that win. Type 71 not doing a whole lot, the Mouse doing only 1k, so really that Chieftain holding that flank, but also the whole backing up there. But interesting that Yakban's OE100 didn't actually land a damaging shot, but nonetheless, yeah, kept Salty back, so he couldn't come around the corner and try and finish off the Chieftain, which he would have been able to do if he didn't have so much support. Alright, let's have a look at the overall impact there. 26 shots fired, 24 hits out of that, 17 penetration, so yeah, a few shots not going through, but nonetheless getting some good damage there. See the courageous resistance adding to the totals for both EXP and for some credits, so that's not worth a lot in credits though. But if you have a look at the standard account column, a bit hard to see, but would have come out with 1,072 of base experience, and you know, in previous years that would have earned you an ace tanker, but unfortunately the levels have gone up and only a second class award. But nonetheless, this is definitely a good case for courageous resistance. Anyway, thanks Salty for providing the replay. Hopefully you may have learned something about defending a particular line and what to do or what you can't do if you don't have decent support. But nonetheless, if you got something out of this, please give it a like. We'll have more great content on the platform. Thanks very much for watching.